Wait,
Um,
wait.
I'm Malesha Smith. We're on the Community Library Mississippi platform doing a program on the impact of rap music on our youth. That was my topic today. Somebody went yesterday. I don't know the schedule for the next few days, but we do have other important topics that I'm pretty sure Ms. Meredith will tell before we end this Zoom meeting. Ms. Meredith, I'm gonna start the show if that's okay with you.
Yes, I'm
You
gonna let somebody in, and yeah, go ahead.
okay? So good afternoon, you all. I am Malesha Smith, like I said before. I will be presenting a short piece on the impact of rap music on today's youth. It's an honor and a privilege to be invited to conduct this presentation on an important topic that affects communities today. So I would like to thank each one of you for taking out the time of your busy schedule to attend this program. I would also like to thank Ms. Meredith McGee, the host of this project, for allowing me to present on this platform. It's also equally important to recognize the Mississippi Humanities Council for their continued support. So without further ado, the impact of rap music on the youth today. Music continues to be one of the most recognizable and influential elements of society. For thousands of years, music has brought people together and evoked emotions and feelings. It can bring you back to a certain place in time and transport you to a memory that feels so real, you will swear you are experiencing it for the first time. No matter where you go in the world, people connect and interact with music, no language needed. You do not need to understand the words in the song or have words at all to enjoy it. Research shows that music is recognized by infants in the womb. And if that is not a display of the power music has on humans, nothing is. Looking at the way today's culture and societies have changed in recent years, there is one genre of music that seems to exceed the rest in popularity among youth, and that is rap music. Whether young or old, black or white, everyone knows someone who has a connection with rap. The various subgenres and categories that make this music different, as well as the wide variety of artists who share this music to the world, have helped make this a staple in society these days. But is it spreading a positive message to those who listen? Are there behavioral changes from those involved in this music? Before those questions are answered or even discussed, learning the history of rap music will allow for a better understanding of what it is today. Y'all, so hold on for a sec. I'm finna share my screen now.
Thank you.
Is that full screen, Ms. Meredith?
It looks like it is full screen.
Okay. Okay. Rap music began in the early 1970s in the United States as a mix of disco and funk at clubs and other music spots. The DJs would generally speak over or after the song and incorporate the crowd to get a better reaction from the music. Soon, the spoken lyrics were rhymed throughout the songs, which energized the audience. The music first had a disco and crowd-oriented vibe that allowed all who listened to get involved. The Sugar Hill Gang were the founding fathers of rap and really became popular because their style and beat had never been heard before. As the 1980s began, rap music became one of the more personalized styles that strayed from disco and changed to have more of a hip hop feel. Run DMC was the first rap group to really hit on mainstream platform in this different style. In 1986, a new group called NWA came onto the scene and they exploded, achieving platinum album status when they sold over 3.5 million albums of their first release, a cultural staple in society at the time. However, they used an aggressive dub gangster style, which generally involved songs about gangs, Black social movements, drug wars, and police violence, which were all relevant issues. NWA became extremely popular with teens at that time because they themselves were involved in those same issues, and the group rebellious attitude just added to it. Since then, rap has experienced more changes in subgenre and has also gained popularity and mainstream attention virtually every year, since thanks to the advancement of social media, which allow fans to connect with their favorite artists, such as Kanye West, Drake, and Eminem, in a way they never could before. A few years ago, a new style of rap took over, a rap called mumble rap. This rap has a slower, drowsy beat, and the rappers who sing basically just talks in a slow mumble voice. For whatever reason, this subgenre of rap has spread like wildfires among youth and young adults, and it is one of the most popular and most influential styles of music today. Mumble rap focuses on drugs, sex, money, and violence, topics you wouldn't want a young person to listen to. The website, The Conversation, an independent source of news and views from the academic and research community, calls it a brainless and lazy reflection of music. However, it doesn't matter how much mumble rap is criticized. People still want to engage in with whatever is popular. Whether people think it is cool to act like the people leading the charge in mumble rap, or just it's a monkey see, monkey do scenario. One has to wonder, what would come of teenagers listening to this type of music for hours on end? Dozens of rappers who are labeled as mumble rappers have died recently from overdoses, gun violence, and other acts that they seem to promote and gloat about in their music. Anytime you see a headline in the news about a musician or singer dying, it is usually a rapper. And these deaths are not just a coincidence or bad luck. Mac Miller's death was one of the most notable ones in recent memory and caused a lot of grief in the rap community. With a history of arrests due to drug possession and driving under the influence, Miller clearly had issues with substances and overdose on a mix of fentanyl, cocaine, and alcohol in September 2018. In 2017, a 21-year-old Lil Peep overdosed before a show in Arizona. He had taken a mixture of mushrooms, cannabis, and 6 Xanax pills. Most recently, in December 2019, another 21-year-old rising star, Juice WRLD, was traveling in a private jet containing illegal weapons as well as 70 pounds of marijuana, among other drugs. While aboard, Juice WRLD had a seizure and died due to an overdose of oxycodone and codeine. The death of rappers Takeoff has shined the light on the amount of rappers killed by gun violence. Takeoff was a member of the group Migos. On November 1st, 2022, Migos rapper Takeoff died suddenly in Houston after attending a private party of about 40 to 50 guests. He was only 28. Takeoff's death is the latest in a trend that stretches back to 2018. Each year since then, gun violence has killed at least one rapper who was already famous or on the cusp of crossover fame. Takeoff's shocking murder in Houston is just one of the many talents who tragically lost their lives due to gun violence in the last few years. XXXTentacion was gunned down June 18, 2018 in an apparent robbery as he left a motorsports store in Deerfield Beach, Florida. 4 men were arrested in connection with the rapper's killings. The 20-year-old was wildly popular at the time of his death. He rocketed to fame after his song "Look at Me" went viral on social media and SoundCloud in 2016. The rapper was not without controversy. He was accused of homophobia after telling a story on a podcast of choking and severely beating a cellmate he suspected was gay while they were both housed in a juvenile detention center. He had also been awaiting trial for a domestic violence incident involving his pregnant girlfriend. Nipsey Hussle was fatally shot in March 2019 at his clothing store he owned, Shutterstock. Nipsey Hussle, an award-winning hip-hop artist, was shot at least 10 times on March 31st, 2019 in Los Angeles. Authorities said Eric Holder fired the shots that killed Nipsey and wounded 2 others. Holder, 32, was found guilty of first-degree murder in the rapper's death. Nipsey had been well known on the underground circuit, and he was gaining a mainstream following just before his death. A year earlier, he launched the first marathon clothing smart store in Los Angeles. Nipsey, also owner of the Marathon Agency Marketing Company, investment firm SC Commercial Ventures, and the record labels Proud to Pay and All Money and No Money Out Records, according to Press Atlantic Records. The 33-year-old was nominated for Best Rap Album during the 2019 Grammys for only studio album he ever released, Victory Lap. He lost to Cardi B. Beyond his music and business, Nipsey was a member of the Rolling 60s neighborhood Crips, but spoke out against rappers who boast of purported gang affiliations to stunt or look cool, not because he wished them any violence, but to remind them that far too many young people were joining a gang because of survival. Pop Smoke. A New York rapper, Pop Smoke, was murdered during a home invasion at a Hollywood Hills, California residence, February 19, 2020. Several people were detained and released following the rapper's death. Witnesses told investigators that between 2 or 6 people broke into the home, one of them wearing a mask. Los Angeles Police Department Captain Steve Lurie said 5 people were arrested in connection with the slaying, 2 of whom were already identified as juveniles. The 20-year-old was enjoying the success of his sophomore mixtape, Meet the Woo 2, the week before his killing. The project debuted at number 7 on the Billboard 200 album charts. Rapper King Von was killed outside a hookah lounge in Atlanta, Georgia. Prince Williams, he was killed outside a hookah lounge in Atlanta, Georgia. Chicago rapper King Von was one of the 2 people fatally shot November 6, 2020 during an early morning exchange of gunfire outside the lounge. The 2 groups of men had been arguing in the parking lot around 3:30 and shots were fired. 4 other people were wounded by gunfire, according to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, which investigated the shooting because police officers also fired their weapons. Young Dolph died in 2021. He's a Memphis-based rapper who was fatally shot while buying cookies in November the 17th. The 36-year-old rapper was at Nikita's homemade butter cookies in Memphis when someone drove up and shot him. 3 men were arrested in connection with his death. A Chicago native who grew up in Memphis, Dolph released his debut album, King of Memphis, in 2016. He went on to perform several hits, including Blue Diamonds and R&B, featuring Megan Thee Stallion. His 5th studio album, 2020's Rich Slave, rose to number 5 on the Billboard 200 chart. In 2017, he was nearly killed in a shooting incident in Hollywood. He spent weeks hospitalized after sustaining 3 gunshot wounds. Rapper PNB Rock was shot September 12, 2022, while eating with his girlfriend at Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles in what appears to be a robbery, according to Los Angeles Police Chief. Moore said a picture of the pair's meal had been posted on Instagram when the location was tagged. In September, police announced that 3 had been charged in connection with the killing, including a father and his minor son, who was charged with murder, conspiracy to commit robbery, and second-degree robbery, according to the local prosecutor. A woman was also charged with being accessory after the effect. These are only a few of the many rappers who have died across the years. A more exhaustive list included nearly 100 rappers across the United States, including our very own Jacksonian, Lil Lonnie. Lil Lonnie, a rising rapper at the time, was shot and killed before midnight on April 29, 2018. The 22-year-old artist was reportedly shot several times while driving a car, which later crashed into a home. There have been other similar deaths in the past, and there may have been more in the future. Obviously, there's a difference in the rap industry between those who take substances for pain and suffering and those who glorify drug use in their music. But these themes are always a constant that follow the mumble rap subgenre. When teens and young adults listen to this music and all their friends listen as well, what are they expected to believe and how are they expected to act? Music is very important to our children and adolescents. Try to change the radio station in the car after your child has said it, and you will quickly see that they have very clear and deeply held opinions. In a survey of juniors and senior high school students in Northern California, students were asked what media would they choose to take with them if they were stranded on a desert island. They were allowed to nominate a first, second, and third choice from a list, including TV sets, books, video games, computer, newspapers, VCRs, and videotapes. This is named some of the food that they had a choice of. Because radio is almost exclusive a music medium for adolescents, radio and recordings were combined into a single music category. At all grade levels, music media was preferred over television, which placed second overall. And this preference increased with age. Over 80% of the total sample nominated music is one of their first three choices. By 11th grade, music was selected first by a margin of 2-1. Music importance to youth can also be measured by the amount of time they spend listening to it. One sample of Southeastern junior high school students spent the average of 3 hours per day listening to music and over 4 hours watching television. More recent studies have shown similar high numbers for music. In a study of over 600 8th and 9th graders from public and private schools in Minnesota, children reported spending an average of 21 hours per week listening to music compared to 25 hours per week watching television. So we can see the importance of music to our teens, and we can also see how much time is spent listening to music. So we are left with the question of how is all this time spent with music affecting our youth? At the simplest, most global level people of all ages listen to music because it provides pleasure. For adolescents especially, the pleasure can be intense and tends to be associated with the most intense peak experiences of life. Music promotes experiences of the extreme for its makers and listeners, turning the perilous emotional edges, vulnerabilities, triumphs, celebrations of life in hypnotic reflective tempos that can be experienced privately or shared with others. Given the importance of music in its central role in adolescence, it is clear that it has a number of important effects. Yet, although there has been concern for decades about possible causing harm or damage. There have also been other studies done that show a correlation between rap music and increased criminal behavior, sexual activity, and drug use. Ralph DeClemente and his colleagues at Emory University in Atlanta studied 522 random selected African-American females from the same area between the ages of 14 and 18. The researchers were interested in how exposure to rap music affected the subjects. The teens who listened to rap music for roughly around 14 hours a week were 3 times more likely to get into a fight with the teacher, 2.5 times more likely to find themselves getting arrested, and 1.5 times more likely to take part in an illegal activity, such as underage drinking and experimentations with drugs. After a year, it was also concluded that they were more likely to have sexual risk and were less apt to use a condom. This group was also more likely to have sexually transmitted diseases, being drinkers and use more drugs. DeClemente said that this does not mean that rap videos cause such behavior, but that there is a strong association. Another study conducted by the University of Pittsburgh in 2008 analyzed Billboard magazine's most popular songs in 2005, and it was found that substance use was referenced in 77% of the rap songs, the highest percentage of drug mentions among all genres included in the study. Of the top 10 rap hits of 2022 on Spotify right now, 9 of them discuss either gun violence, drugs, or sex. The dominance of these songs and artists in the industry today are not just a subgenre anymore. It is the genre. Many other experts have also seen an association between rap and behaviors in teens. Some say that the presence of derogatory remarks about race and the concept of love and money, as well as the image portrayed in rap music that drugs and sex are common, all have negative impacts on those listening. Susan Weber, a music therapist at M&B Music Incorporation in St. Louis, said if someone is rapping over and over again about killing cops, someone is more likely to kill cops because people are susceptible to suggestions. Many experts have agreed that rap greatest effects are on children, where its influence can be particularly strong. A lot of young people listen to their rappers' lyrics and take their words as law, said Solomon, an award-winning principal of an elementary and middle school in the inner city of Philadelphia, and an author and co-author of I Choose to Stay and Retention for a Change. He's also an international speaker who has been interviewed on the O'Reilly Factory on Fox News about the issue of rap and its effects on our children. Children live what they learn, and they learn what they live. And many of these children coming from broken homes look up to the rapper. A lot of times the rapper becomes the teacher. He becomes the role model to these young people. Thomas believes that rap music and video influence his school children negatively. He has reported that school children are using profanity and wearing baggy pants. Girls dress like the women in the videos who are oftentimes inappropriately dressed. Many believe that teens like to keep up with the latest trends to stay relevant and in the moment, but teens often get so entangled in the drama of their daily lives, they don't really take the time to analyze how this music and its underlying messages affect their thinking. They can't help but take in the derogatory media that is constantly shoved down their throats and then praise it for its popularity. That popularity causes more and more teens starving for validation to turn into this type of music, whether they like it or not, to fit into whatever social hierarchy their school might have, and in turn mirror a lifestyle that is portrayed as wild and uncaring, with no core beliefs and a self-destructive nature. Now I'm finna show some videos of some teens that I interviewed about the effects of rap music in their lives.
Okay, we can't hear them.
Okay, hold on one sec. Hold on one second. So the video playing, but you can't hear him. No, I can't hear you now. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you, but
I can hear you. I can hear you now. Hold on one sec. Can you hear now? Miss Meredith. Can anyone hear the video?
I can't hear it now. Is there a way you can turn the volume up? I see where there's some way to turn the volume up on the video.
Oh, okay. I don't know if it's the volume. I never experienced with videos. I just thought it would play like normal. But I'm gonna play the audio without the video then.
Okay.
If I can do that, I think I can.
And how old are these teens you interviewed?
If you can hear them, they gonna say it, but they are I did ask them. They are 13, 14, and 16. But let me start the first one, and then you tell me if you can hear it now. Okay, I'm gonna try it. And tell me that.
I can hear it, but turn it up just a little.
As y'all know, we are producing a survey about the effect of rap music on youth.
I'm moving my phone. I had turned it all the way up. I don't know. Is it really, really low? Like,
yeah, we can hear it. You can turn it back on.
Okay. I'm sorry. It keep on starting over.
Okay, so as y'all know, we are producing a survey about the effect of rap music on youth. Do you listen to rap music? Yeah. So all y'all listen to rap music. Do you listen to rap, hardcore rap, or so? Constantly, the day do you listen? You just once a day. You play your game now. I mean, I would say, I like 8. You listen to the lyrics of rap, do you know the lyrics? Y'all just listen to the instrumental or the beat. Y'all know lyrics too. Give me your favorite rap song, Rihanna. Mama, don't worry, you will get about it. Mama, don't worry. I'm raising a gangster, not a survivor. You raised a gangster, I'm a survivor. Okay.
Okay.
What's yours?
Hold on.
Plan on coming back. Maybe show. Okay. What's your favorite lyric of a rap song? I love on soon, can't wait no time. Your favorite is about gun violence. Okay, how many songs do y'all listen to on every day? Okay, gun violence or the next violence. It's simple. A lot of songs don't have when you listen to these songs, do you feel empowered? Like, do you see yourself playing these roles in real life? So y'all want a good game bang? End of the day, does rap music change your behavior in the real world? Yeah. For the bad. For the good. So you don't play up on the negative stuff, the negative connotations like gang banging and shooting people. You don't see yourself doing it, you know. What about our friends? Do y'all think they ever have said do drugs because they hear it on the song? Maybe. They might be cool. So you think it's
I'm gonna leave it right there, Miss Meredith, because I don't know what the third video is right now. But that's what they I hope y'all can hear it a little bit though. If not, I can go back. Let me get it on.
It is their perspective that rap music is not negative on them.
On them, right.
That's their perspective. Because so they said they don't use drugs or they're not into gang banging. They just listen to it as an art form.
Right. Expressive art form. And they don't have a direct influence on what they choose to do or not to do.
Well, I never heard of mumble rap before. Was Little Lonnie a mumble rapper?
Now, I'm assuming everybody after a certain year that they all consider mumble rappers. I know the older rappers is Jay-Z, they're not considered mumble rappers. I just can't really just say he was a mumble rapper, but I'm assuming so. Everybody after maybe 2017. It's just a different art form.
Okay, so
oh, I don't even think I ended this time.
Yeah, you could start sharing. Are you gonna open up for question and answer?
I am. I was trying to was trying to get to the last page. Okay, so well, I ain't gonna do the conclusion. So, do anybody have any questions about rap and the effects it has on children? It's weird not seeing me. I'm gonna look at y'all though.
Yes. The rappers' children, how are they affected?
You know, I didn't even dig into that. You know, I didn't even look up, because a lot of rappers' children are young too, but I know Young Dogs were, and I don't know how much information there was out there, you know, about the effects of the children directly to the rappers. I don't know that. I can't lie and say I did, because I didn't even think about that perspective. I'm pretty sure that it affects them a lot more than you know, just a random teenager though. Ms. Vicky, was rap out? Did you grow up with the Sugar Gang, you know, the NWAs, or is that after your time?
Yes, I did grow up with some NWA, but some of those NWA rappers, like Ice Cube, his son, when he became an actor, his son followed him. That was kind of what I was talking about, the effects of it. And some of those old school rappers, their children developed new habits and didn't follow the legacy. That's what I was referring to.
Okay, I get you. I just thought you was saying the depth of them. Okay, I get you. But, well, I think they followed them to a certain extent, but we have to account for the fact that things changes, you know, nothing ever stays the same. What we were wearing back then, we don't wear now. And so, but I guess the basics of the rap and music did change though, because they were fighting for rights. They had the social injustice around the world. That's what they were really talking about. But now you're right, they did change. It's not, it's just rapping just because now.
Well, and today it's just different music, and the rappers are younger and they have different beliefs, and they have different, like before they had different injustices, but in today's rappers don't have the same activities, don't have the same thoughts and
Right, and that leads them to rap differently. Their experiences are different, so they rap differently. And so while many of the people in 1970 were trying to fight, you know, segregation and racism, the only thing they have to worry about now is, you know, is what the world is leading them to: more money, more drugs, more sex, or, you know, or that's their perspective of what's going on now. Anybody else got any? Oh, okay. Go ahead on, Miss Big. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Know what you were saying, Miss Big?
I was just saying, I'm sorry, who's about to speak? I was just referring to.
Go ahead.
I was just referring to, in today's rapping, there is a different meaning and different goals, if there are goals for the rappers, with the exception of money and quote unquote fame.
I agree.
Hey, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say, hello everybody. I'm Tierra Wilson. I was invited by Miss Malesha, but I just wanted to say, in response to Miss Vicky's question, there was an actual video out there where Cardi B was playing her song WAP. I don't know if you all are familiar with it, but it is a very vulgar song. But as soon as her daughter walked in, she turned it off. So I'm thinking, when I saw that, I believe that most individuals, younger parents, are allowing the rap music to actually raise their children. And these artists, that was a perfect example of her daughter walked in and she immediately turned it off. So a lot of parents are allowing this music to be very influential, and they're basically raising them listening to this music. And that's, I think that as parents, we have a responsibility to limit what we listen to and what we allow our children to listen to.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah, I wanted to say that, you know, I remember when NAA wrote the lyrics F the police, and at the, you know, rap to me has always been resistance, and also I think they still live. I mean, there's some songs that I heard in the last 2 years from rappers. I don't know if they're considered mumble rappers, but they elevated the conscience on police brutality. That's what NAA was talking about then. The only difference was that they was cussing in the music, which was a little different. In the 70s, nobody could cuss on a radio station. If there was a cuss word, they would beep it out. But I still see that, okay, you got like Chance the Rapper, or Common has, there are some that bring a level of consciousness on the Black experience. Then you have some of the rappers who display the ideal of ownership, owning the label, owning a clothing line. I don't see it all as just negative. Nipsey Hussle was encouraging entrepreneurship and teaching that. Now, some of the lyrics are negative, but I don't think the whole industry is. That's just my opinion, and I'm 59. I mean, you know, I like all kinds of music, but I just wanted to say that, and then, you know, anybody else who want to speak.
I agree with you, Miss Meredith. I don't believe it's everyone. I believe that it's select artists use that platform to promote different things, and some of them are positive.
And some of them are doing what they're supposed to do. They're selling a brand, they're selling records. And with Cardi B stopping her video, it's showing, you know, she can't condone it around her own children, but she will sell it. So it's just a business for most of them. But like Ms. Meredith say, there are some good rappers that promote the cause, a good cause. Childish Gambino, I forgot this song is. Tierra, what's this song? This Is America, you know. It just showed a different perspective of what was going on in the United States with the police shooting. So I guess we gonna have a selection, or we'll have a variety of rap music. I guess we just have to pray and hope that the children get or choose wisely as to what is settling in their ear gates and in their eye gates. You know, I know music for me when I was younger, it was just a way to, what's the word? It was just a way to cope, you know, just cope with things. If I'm feeling sad, I wanted to listen to my sad music to make me feel more sad. But I never took rap music to the extreme where I'm trying to play out or do what I was hearing. And I don't think that's the case for most children either. But we have a lot of external factors, the environment, the raising of the children in the homes, single or broken homes, you know. It's a lot of that plays effect. And then we're from Mississippi, and I don't even think that, I know they probably have their little gangs, but it's not like the gangs in California. So it might be, it might have a more negative impact on teens depending on where they are. That's what I'm trying to say. Anybody else?
I do agree with Meredith that in some cases, the rappers are trying to arrange and trying to affect the quote unquote injustices, such as the different murder charges with and I'm bringing it to today, like the 4 police officers in Memphis, those kinds of things that the rappers are trying to, I don't know, I guess what I'm trying to say, the rappers are trying to get the attention of and how it should be looked upon, and if some law enforcement and how that it should be handled. I guess if that's understandable what I'm saying. And then like George Floyd, in those cases, the rappers speak on that of the injustices and the social culture of what's going on. Is that understandable?
Very much. I understand it. Yeah, Miss Meredith said she done heard rappers in the last few years, but other than Childish Gambino, I just don't listen to rap, so I can't really say what's out there though. I don't really listen to rap music no more. So I can't really say what's out there. I guess we needed a younger, I ain't gonna say a younger, somebody might be on here. Anybody listen to rap right now?
Well, I can't say that I really do. I've heard some. I'm sorry. Somebody trying to speak. I'm sorry.
No, I just gonna say I do occasionally listen to it, but the mumble rap I don't really understand it. I more listen to what my children are listening to see what they're listening to.
I got you.
I
I got you. I got you. And
I have artists. I have artists that I like. I like rap, jazz, blues, gospel. I just like music, and I especially like live music. But it's an art form. But yeah, there were several police brutality songs by young rappers that I heard on YouTube in the last 3 years. I can't name their names, but it may be on my playlist. But then you take for instance Yo Gotti from Memphis and Jay-Z. I mean, these are rappers that have a nonprofit that sued the state of Mississippi over the horrific conditions of the prison in the state of Mississippi. I mean, so if that ain't good, I don't know what good is. I mean, there are just a lot of things that they've done in terms of their nonprofits. They are leaders, and they do display some good in terms of their business dealings and building wealth. Then they show a different side of wealth. I mean, it's not perfect. It's a lot that could be better in terms of the lyrics and what you said. And it's over sexualized, some of it, but I just want to say I still see that it's still resistant music, just like it started when it was fight the power that be. You know, they were. It started off they were resisting and expressing their dislike of the social setting, and they have definitely merged and popular culture in terms of their influence on all aspects of culture worldwide, good or bad. But I would, it would be nice if it would all be positive, but nothing is.
Right.
Hey, Sterling, I want to ask, you didn't put any lady rappers in there? Is their lyrics different from the men?
You know what? Now I didn't. I talked about a lot of mumble rappers, and I don't think their lyrics. They just come from on like the Miss Meredith keep on saying all of them are not bad. I agree that all of them are not bad, especially
I
with
don't
the
think,
older rappers.
when the rappers come out, I don't think they did it to influence the teens in a negative way. I think they put the lyrics in there so the album could, the music could sell. Because it had to have something in it to make them sell. But they weren't looking for the younger folks to take it to heart and go out and do the things they said in the music.
Right. And as far as the
I
woman
was just
too,
wondering about the lady, the women rappers, because I ain't, I don't listen to rap, so I don't know.
I think it's like the times, like Jay-Z, he's older, Yo Gotti is older. So they do rap in that same, kind of fight the power way. But when we're talking about younger rappers, so as the ladies like Queen Latifah and MC Lyte, they would probably also rap that way. But when we come to younger rappers like Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B, I mean, it kind of mirrors the mumble rap. So it's kind of like the same, it's just the times, the ages of the rappers. But I'm pretty sure there's always a good one, I mean, it hasn't became famous. They haven't became famous. Like Miss Meredith said that she know rappers that's in the last 3 years, but it's not popular. So that's why I talked about mumble rap so much, because it's popular. Not to say that there's no other kind of rap that's out there right now, but mumble rap is leading the game right now.
Yeah, so that's what I had never heard of mumble rap. But anyway, so in your research, the mumble rappers are the ones who have died more since 2018.
Right. Right. They like that. I don't know the specifics of what or the requirements of making them mumble rappers, other than the drowsy, slow. But most people are considered mumble rappers right now. I do know that.
I listed some of the songs that I was telling you about. Kendrick Lamar, who is a rapper, and also he has a little jazz influence. He has if you go back to Arrested Development, Killing in the Name, Rage Against the Machine, to Pimp a Butterfly, Kendrick Lamar, 2018. All Right, Kendrick Lamar. The Bigger Picture, Lil Baby, 2020. That was a protest song, I think. Then Riots, How Many Times, Trey Songz, that was 2020. Now they're all like
Younger.
younger.
But you're right.
And
But I definitely wouldn't consider Kendrick Lamar a mumble rapper.
Well, right, he is different because he even has a jazz influence.
Right.
And then F the Police, that was 1988. I just let's see, Fight the Power, 1989. Public Enemy. Yeah. What's Going On, Marvin Gaye, 1971. The Revolution Will Not Be Televised, Geo Scott, 1970, but that was before rap. Say It Loud, James Brown, 1968, when I was a child. That was like, wow. At a time when black was considered ugly. Our lips, our color. Anyway, but so we're at the end. Now, do you want to give us a summary and And I want to invite everybody to please fill out the evaluation form or give us a summary. Malesha.
Oh, well, I was just gonna conclude it. There's no one true way for people to personally evaluate what rap and mumble rap artists do for young minds as a whole. With sold out concerts, millions of followers on social media, and thousands of songs sold and downloaded monthly, there is no doubt that these artists are influencers. But what are they influencing people to do? Are people under the influence of an ill mind that would damage their future? Or is it an influence that will allow them to achieve all that they could have never thought possible before? When analyzing these rappers as a whole or individually, the only question that has to be definitely answered is, when exposed to these rap influences, do people walk away better or worse? And I just really think rap is just a art form, and just because you are exposed to it doesn't mean, I think it's a personal choice. Kids, or I do. I know everybody has. Dr. Tiara said she's listening to her baby music, so I just think it's just an art form, something to get their mind off stuff. But that's the summarization. I should have. Well, now after we started talking about it, it's like it was a lot of points that I could have just did comparison and contrasting. But anybody else have anything else on the effects of rap on youth? Okay, if not, we have some evaluation forms that are very important. We can we all email them? If I know I invited, I know most of you.
I emailed most people the evaluation, and I have it pasted in the chat, but they'll need to copy it out of the chat, I believe, before so they can email it to us and fill it out in their email before we end the meeting. And I want to thank you, Malesha, for your research, your PowerPoint presentation. It was very informative, and it looks like you did a lot of research, and you introduced me to mumble rap I never heard of. But anyway, and it was very informative, and I want to thank everybody for coming.
Yes.
This was presentation was sponsored by Community Library of Mississippi and the Mississippi Humanities Council, and this is a part of the community speaking series, and Malesha Smith was our speaker. And our next presentation is next month. It's on Ella Baker and Fannie Lou Hamer. Yesterday we did the impact of the Harlem Renaissance on popular culture.
Okay. Anybody, I know the last time I helped with evaluations. If anybody need help with the evaluations, I just met them, or we just talked about it over the phone. But I know, like I said, Ms. Mary, I get the ones that I invited personally, evaluation form back to you. I'd like to thank everybody for coming, because you didn't have to be here. But I also want y'all, but it was thought-provoking. And I can't wait to hear about Ella Baker. And so if y'all ain't doing nothing the next, well, I don't know what day, you said next month, March.
Yeah,
We'll post it then. If she don't have it.
And it's also it's gonna be on. You can get the ticket from Eventbrite. It's Thursday, March the 23rd at the same time, and it's the community speaking. Do you see it in the chat? Does everyone see it?
Oh, okay, I see it. Okay.
Now,
Okay.
And March is Women's History Month, and of course, those are two important women in our history, Ella Baker and Fannie Lou Hamer.
Well, okay, I'll let you end it, Ms. Meredith. Like I said, I'll get them to email me, or I'll email them the evaluation form personally.
Well, can you take 1 minute to tell us what you thought about the students that you interviewed, I mean the youth that were 13, what did you think about? I mean, give us a summary of what their response was to the impact. What did they think rap music had on, what kind of influence it had on them personally?
Now, honestly, I'm trying to find out the right word. It was music to them it's just an expressive art. Honestly, they like the lyrics. If the lyrics are, cool, if they using different kind of metaphors, like that's what really get them going. Not what they're saying. It's just how they use the lyric form. If it makes sense to them. it's like it's literally like they just like, oh, you see how he used that word? Like if you use an analogy, that's what gets them pumped. If they using good analogies, that's what's pumping them on their music type, which I was happy with. I was like, y'all. But and I'm biased because they were my children, but that's what I got from it. Mostly it's just expressive and how they express themselves with words and the use of words, but not really what they're saying. You get what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Yeah, I see you saying that they look as entertainment. Like Chris Brown has a song that I like, and there's a lot of cussing in it, and I just sing with him, but it's some truth to what he's saying. And I think that's one of the impacts, because they have made cussing normalized, and that's what parents don't want when they're raising their kids, is them walking around cussing.
Right, you're right, and that's a whole different thing, because it's not really the rap. It's just it's not rapping. It's just what rap in a whole in this day and time represents: the cursing, the freely talking about sex. So it's something that it is affecting them, and the normalization is scary, because now they are growing up in this world where they see it every day. Like I said in the paper, that it's forced down their throat through every media outlet, and so we have to be worried because that might be the new norm. It might be the world of systems. Yeah.
Well,
so
that's the bad.
Right.
12-year-old think that they should just show a lot of skin. I mean, a 10-year-old, that's not a good norm. Those are things that I saw in your research that, yes, that's the negative side, which is good and there's bad. But I did see that. Well, your research had a lot of information in it. But yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it's all. Thank you again. Thank you, Malesha. That was a very good presentation. Thank everyone for coming, and we're gonna have this on. Like us on Facebook, Community Library Mississippi, and if you can, come to some of our other events. Thank you for coming, and have a wonderful rest of the day.
You too, Miss Mary.
Thanks for inviting.
Welcome.